Okay, as you see here, bone dry, wispy. This is what I want to pull up. It's hard to even pull it up. It wants to snap off in your hands easy. That's a good indicator. I want to take it and crush it up down fine. These little roots, stems, leaves, all of the above is what I want. And anytime I find like that, grab the head first and then snap it off and then get the stem. But you want to keep that stem head. Hi guys, it's Blackie. Okay, it's the end of February, about to be the beginning of March. That is prime tinder season. That's when I should be gathering up my dry tinder. A lot of times when I come out, I've got several different things, but I've started carrying one of these. I got it off of eBay, and it's H&D leather. Hope you can see that. Got it off Amazon, good price. And what it is, it's a dump bag. And this is a perfect bag for gathering tinder in. Now, what I'm going to do is I go along and I'm going to find my tinder. And as I find it, I process it a little bit and I put it in the bag. Don't process it all the way, but process it a little bit so it fits in the bag better, and then put it into the bag and move on. Now, okay, see that? Thin and wispy. That's what I'm looking for. I want to grab and start at the head and kind of roll it toward the thick stem. Now that woody stem at the bottom, I don't need. I just want the wispiest, smallest stuff like that. Being careful, crush it up small and transfer it into my bag. Now when this bag gets absolutely full and I've stuffed it good and tight, I'll cinch cord down and take it home. Now my tinder kit, I make sure I got really good tinder in it. And then the processed stuff like this, when I get home, I'll transfer it into a bag to hang on to. Now a lot of times I'll use like a Ziploc bag, but don't seal it up all the way. Leave a little, about 1 finger's worth of air gap. And I have bags of shredded cedar bark. I have bags of various other types of things. Yellow poplar bark, things like that I've come across in my traveling and stocked. But right now, at the end of winter, beginning of spring, is the time to find it. Because if you're not in areas where it's heavy snow, and if so, you know what I'm talking about. But right now, the tinder that is available, if it's not been actively wet in the last couple of days, is the thinnest, most decomposed, ready to be tinder. You just grab it and crush it and it just falls apart. Seed heads, weed heads, all of that. I mean, it's just everywhere. And that little bitty nothing like that where it's gone down to seed-like stuff, is what I'm after. I want to grab it and process it. Get it now. Because when everything turns green, this stuff disappears. And then all you're left with is new green stuff everywhere, and it's harder and harder to find that bone dry little tinder that you can just grab. Now's the time to harvest it. So you harvest it at the end of winter. In springtime is when I start looking around for the green woods that are coming out. If I'm going to carve something, make something out of green wood, that's the time to start looking. Because that's when all the green stuff is available, see? And so you rotate it around. Cedar bark, I can get year round. Yellow poplar, I can get it year round. Things like that. As I come across it, I gather it, I harvest it. But these seed pod heads and stuff like that are left from last year that's made it all the way through the winter, now's the time to gather them. Keep them. So I keep my tinder bag full. So every time I come back from the field, I wash the clothing, I double check my knives, I double check everything, and I refill my tinder kit. If I've used it at all, refill it to keep it full and ready to go. If I took a dunking this time, I make sure to process and change out my tinder, because I have tinder stored at the house to add to my kit automatically. Now yes, when I come out, I'm going to look for my resource and not use what I've gathered no more than I have to, but I want that gathered as an emergency backup, because a lot of times you can find firewood, you can find kindling, but finding the tinder where you're at, especially in spring when everything's been raining for 3 or 4 days and everything's green, finding dry tinder is the hard part. So I bring that with me. So no matter what, I got a way to start a fire. Little things make your life so much better. Till next time, guys, I'm Blackie, wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.